Yo, game time, no lame time. Listen, this is the first episode of the Game Time, No Lame Time podcast. So in order to make the first one the special one, you know I had to bring my boy Ricardo in the building because we always talking finances, we always talking investing, we always talking real estate. So without no further ado, I want to introduce the guest that we have on here tonight, and that's Ricardo Tippitt. Ricardo Tippitt, if you would just tell them who you are, man, and drop a little something.
Hey, it's your boy Ricardo Tippitt. I'm a real estate broker. I'm also diving a couple other things. I do affiliate marketing, life insurance, notary business, taxes. I'm kind of all over the place, but I do quite a few different things, man. So I come from a background of real estate. That's where I started in a lot of things that I took place in like 6 years ago. So once I dived into real estate, I got familiar with other markets and how things really run. So I started creating different incomes off of that one business. And that's how it really went, bro. That's how it really started for me.
Man, listen. So y'all already know is what we like to do. We like to give a lot of game. And we like to correct problems by telling you the problem. Then we like to give you avenues and opportunities on how to, become better. So we just going to jump straight in. So what I like to do is we like to keep people understanding the importance of debt elimination. Because if you don't understand the importance of debt elimination, then you can't build wealth. They really don't tell you that at school. They ain't going to tell you that in a lot of places is. But in order to get wealthy, in order to make money, you have to understand how debt works. So since we like to promote a lot and market more to the middle class, where the struggle is at right now, especially where we come from is, I want to tell you this, the importance of the working middle class having a home-based business. Now, I know that sounded just boring, just saying that. I know that don't light no flame up under you just by saying have a home-based business, right? But the flame that's lit up on you is when those bills is due. You know what I mean? When that mortgage is due and then, you getting that eviction notice. So we don't want that type of fire. We want that fire of motivation. So I'm going to just jump straight into it and we going to kind of bounce off each other with this one is it's more of conversation over presentation. So number one, the first thing that I believe that middle class Americans, especially that's working W-2 jobs, should understand the power in having a home-based business. Now, this only for you to understand on the steps and on how to build wealth. You know what I mean? So if you ever said that the goal is to leave generational wealth for your kids, this what I'm telling you is from where you at as a working class, where you need to go and how you need to do it. First of all, the home-based business is important due to the benefits that comes with a home-based business. Based off you just being a W-2 worker and that's it, you don't get a lot of benefits because America is a business. Mm-hmm. So America is in business and you're an employee for the business. So it's business commerce that's going on. So you have to transition yourself in from just the worker into the boss, even with you working that job. And how does that work is, first of all, you have to understand as being a business owner, you get different tax breaks. So what I want to do instead of just going straight in on all of the different tax breaks you get, I want to give examples where you can understand because it's knowledge over money, right? Game time, no lame time. So as Ricardo, and he owns multiple businesses. I even do this different type business with him, especially when it comes to real estate. And in a lot of those business, even though he have a commercial office with a commercial space, since he have multiple streams of income, sometimes other businesses is utilized out the home space, which is purposely by design because Ricardo understand how to build wealth. So Ricardo, with you as a business owner, real estate, and then having other multiple businesses, and sometimes, those businesses require you to work from home. So can you give me an example of one of your businesses of that any regular person can understand, also be able to take the same opportunity to utilize and give kind of example how you able to build wealth and how you able to not build wealth, but eliminate debt by just using them strategies of having a home-based business?
I started off as a home-based business, and as things grew bigger or whatever, that's when I went into, commercial addresses and stuff like that. But starting off as a home-based business, I was able to utilize things that I did for my home that you probably could also do for a business. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to get into like just writing off every single thing because
Right.
you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But you can utilize a lot of things, and it depends on what you want to do. Like if you don't want to do anything with your credit for a decade or so, or a couple years or so, then you can start with some different things. Like it can come down to you outside in your flower beds tax write-off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A shovel you buy, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff can become tax write-offs. Employing your kids, you know what I'm saying? Making that a tax write-off. You know what I'm saying? I know you can dive more deeper into that situation. But it was very more beneficial for me because I was able to utilize a percentage of my home and write it off on my taxes. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm making the money, you really don't want to have to pay those taxes in. You know what I'm saying? That's just being all real, bro. You really don't want to have to give the government that money. I'm just keeping 100.
Right.
You know, so and writing off my security, you know, business supplies, things in that nature, entertainment. Like I base all of that off of just stuff I did at home and for my business. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you know how that go, bro. But like I said, I started off everything like that. So even diving into being a notary, my ink, my printer, everything that, you know, business-wise I was using for that as well. But the thing I utilize being a notary is like I have a team of agents on my team, and then I got people that I know that's in the industry as well. So when I'm doing a notary, sometimes they need notaries for signings on real estate. So I'm utilizing that, and I have other companies that I'm connected with as well. And like for 20, 30 minutes of my time, I'm getting paid $150 just for showing up, stamping some stuff, going over the papers, and watching people sign on it and confirming their ID. You know what I'm saying? So just having a printer and a mobile and transportation can get you paid more than what you can make per hour at your job. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Game time, no lame time, man.
But yeah, that was what it was important for me, bro. And that's really the move.
Man. And for some of y'all that don't get what he's saying is, because see, I know a lot of y'all probably wonder, how does that benefit me? So let's just take you down. Just imagine. We finna just go into imaginary world real quick. Imagine you was working that job that you work on hard every day. And at the end of the year is you already was struggling, but you still owe Uncle Sam some more money because he said you ain't even gave him enough money. Because you ain't understanding, like I told you, America is a business. So if you ain't understanding business, then the more you know, the less you owe. The less you know, the more you owe.
Right.
So what we finna do you is get you to understanding and how to knowing some things. So if Ricardo is a notary and people call him on his phone when they need his notary services, right? That means his cell phone is not just for personal use. It's for business use as well. Why? Because when they need that notary, they gotta call him. Let me give you an example that you may understand even better. Say that girl doing hair outside in her house. Even though she ain't got no LLC, she ain't got no EIN number, she considered as a sole proprietor. Because a lot of people think that in order to be a legit business, you got to have an LLC and an EIN.
True.
LLCs and EINs are more are tax entities. Just to let the IRS know is how to tax you. LLC, limited liability company, mostly used for asset protection. Why? Because the taxes is whatever the company can make $1 million and the money flows through the LLC back to the owner, and the owner is responsible for the taxes on it. But you have some that go to, corps, that's a different story. How does that help that girl that's working doing hair at the house? She doing hair. In order for a client to come over and get their hair done, how do they communicate with her? Through her phone. And when they communicate with her through her phone, where do they come getting their hair done at? In her home. So right there, phone cannot be just for personal use because she used it for business use as well. The home ain't just for personal use because she do the hair inside of the home. And more different deductions and things of that nature is more, but straight to the point. So how does that help her at the end of the year? Imagine she working a job, and now it's the end of the year, and she going to get her taxes done. And now she ain't really getting no tax refund due to the fact is she ain't paid in enough taxes. But in her mind, she can't figure out how that's so. Because she been working and paying in taxes and she still owed more. But see, since she do that hair, remember, whatever she made at her job, if she made $50,000 at her job, and then she went and filed her taxes and didn't pay in enough taxes, the government basically tell her like, hold up, miss, we understand that you made $50,000 in your job, but we also see that you have a business. So we don't want to tax you on that money because we see you ain't made enough money. Because the IRS gives you up to 3 years to make a turn a profit in your business before they consider it a hobby. The reason why I'm saying that is because you have to understand how the tax game work. So with Ricardo utilizing the tax game, he ain't just getting no business just to say, hey, I got a business, now I can eliminate for paying taxes. The game is understanding how to play the game. This a money game. You got to understand how it play. Just you having a business don't mean nothing. And because a lot of y'all have a business, and when they have a business, they say I got a business and think that just automatically gives them a refund.
Right.
That just lower your taxable liability with deductions. You heard Ricardo saying I wanted to stop him so he can go on and go into detail. He said something. He said, of course, I don't take a lot of deductions. I just use a lot of deductions. I want you to tell them is on why, as you as a real estate agent, and everybody want to purchase their first home. That's why everybody get their credit. If you hear most people talk about they finna get their credit in, and you ask them for what? To buy a home.
Right.
So you as a selling homes, what when you say that you don't take a lot of deductions, and of course in the way you said it like it's a bad thing. So if it's a bad thing and a good thing, kind of separate when it's a bad thing and when it's a good thing.
When it's a bad thing, it's like if you make $50,000 a year, and let's say you're running a business or whatever, or however you got your stuff structured, then you're wanting that return. You want to get you a couple thousand back in income tax time. You know what I'm saying? So you writing off. Sometimes people write off half of that, or writing off 10, 15, 20,000, whatever it may be that you writing off just so you can get that return. So again, if you making $50,000, now you say, man, I want to go buy me a house, and you think that income tax refund you just got finna help you with your down payment. So you kind of putting yourself in some reverse psychology. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So you got the 50, you made 50. Now you done deducted, let's say 15,000. So your your income is gonna look like you made 35,000. So now you thinking that you can go to the bank based off that 50,000 and get approved for 250,000, but you really just made that drop because you took that 15,000 of deductions, and you got 35,000 in income now. And sometimes, like depending on what debt you have, you really just knocked yourself out the box.
Game time, no lame time. So let me break that down to you real quick for the ones that didn't understand it, what he's saying is. So basically what he's saying is you might say, girl, I'm finna get my credit did so I can purchase me a new home. So you get your credit did and your credit go up and you get the pre-approval. Keyword is pre. You know what I mean? That ain't the game. You know when they say pre-game, that mean that ain't the game. It's the pre-game. Like right now, this game time. So now you ready to go get that house, and you working your job, and you made $50,000 on your job. So now that you made that $50,000 on your job, at the end of the year, you want a big tax return. So you might utilize your business and take excessive deductions. And what happens is them deductions lower your taxable income.
Right.
Meaning, remember, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep. So if you made $50,000 at your job and you got $30,000 in write-offs, it make it look like that you had made $20,000 because they can't calculate the loss because it was a loss, which is harmful when going to purchase your new home because pre-approval is the credit, remember. But the next step is going through that underwriter, which is going to ask to see the last 2 years of your tax return. So with the last 2 years of your tax return, you've been writing off $30,000, $40,000, and you going to them folks talking about you want a $500,000 house. It ain't gonna happen. That's why you see most of our culture people, our vision of the house that we want is not the vision of the house that we actually purchase.
True.
Like literally. Because of reasons like that. So you have to understand the importance of being in business and everything. So I just want to have just like a conversation, man, because we always be having some powerful conversations on the phone and everything like that. So it's so much that we can tell people and things of that nature. But it's one thing that I want to hit on with you, man, and this is because it was amazing to me when I first got in real estate and you let me know this. So when purchasing the first home and a first-time home buyer, we all think about just getting a normal home, 3-4 bedroom house, whatever the case may be, based on the kids you got, and if you want a game room. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Ricardo told me something when I got in the game that was just so crazy because I was like, I always thought as an investor, I needed to have all of this money. I needed to know so much of this and that. But he told me that for a first-time home buyers now, and listen, this for anybody who ain't bought their first home yet, you got to hear this because this is a way to create passive income and build wealth by purchasing your first home. And I'm going to let him break it down on how it works, you know what I mean, the details. But I know he told me that this time you can buy a duplex. But I think he even turned around and told me that you can even buy more those than that with your first-time home buyer. So can you just let the people know what can you, besides just the home, what can you purchase up to how many units, and how can somebody make that possible?
Well, being a first-time home buyer, you can utilize, of course, being a single-family homeowner. You can also buy up to a fourplex. So you can get a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex. You can get a home built from the ground up. I mean, depending on what you want to do. But if you want to make it your first investment, I would also definitely recommend going with a multifamily property. And also, just hitting back on the pre-approval, make sure you have a lender that ain't just giving you a pre-approval based off your credit report. So go ahead and already have your W-2s turned in if you're a worker, your bank statements, whatever that they're going to need, the paperwork they're going to need to get that process done. So once you go find a property, they're not going back and be like, oh, we thought we could do $250, but now it's looking like $240. Like a bad lender going to put you in a bad situation. So now you bringing pressure back to me because now I got to try to negotiate. And I've been in that position before, man. I love my clients. I've negotiated some of my commission to give people a privacy fence. You know, because that's what they wanted to make the deal. So I'm not a greedy person. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that for you. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to make something instead of killing the deal and making nothing.
Man.
So back onto the multifamily properties, being a first-time home buyer, you get that multifamily property. You have to stay in that property with most lenders for a year. So
say that again. Y'all need to catch
most times of the time, you have to stay in that property for a year. And then after a year, you're free to rent out all 4 units if you have a fourplex, all 3 units if you have a triplex, 2 units if you have a duplex.
And why can that be good why is that a good option for somebody who's going into getting a mortgage or their first-time mortgage by going with that process?
For one, you can utilize zero down. Or down payment assistance. You know, it gets a little different after your first purchase because, you know, you're going back to the lender after your first purchase. Now they might want you got to put money down, you know what I'm saying, on that next property. And sometimes it could be up to 20%, just depending on what the deal that you're trying to do. You know, but I know where you're hitting at. That passive income is what that's really good at. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That passive income is the play because you've just created your first investment property in 1 year off of being a first-time home buyer. So you basically got you a small apartment complex.
Game time, no lame time.
With 4 units. There, whatever, I mean, depends on the market that you're in, the location and things of that nature, but you have 4 units making you income after a year. The property is paying for itself. It can possibly pay for the home that you want to move to. And then if you have a little extra, you got some passive income coming in your pocket every month as well. So, and that's how you creating financial freedom. Like a lot of first-time home buyers, they start off like traditionally, they get the down payment assistance. They go buy a regular home. They stay in that home. And then they decide a couple years later, okay, this was just my starter home. I'm ready to move forward, you know what I'm saying? So now, instead of already having something in place to help you on your next move, you starting from scratch all over again, or you trying to save up the money for the down payment, or hopefully you have enough equity in your home by then that way you can create your next deal for you as well. So if you have enough equity in your home, the lender's still gonna make you wait, and that's when we get into contingencies on a real estate contract. So the lender gonna tell you, yeah, we'll pre-approve you off the on the next property based on if this property's sold. So now you put in a position. You're sweating, you're nervous. You got to make sure your property sells just to get on the next move. And then you ain't locked in on this contract because now you got these people locked in. They expecting to buy your house. Inspector come out there and say, need a new HVAC unit. You don't want to pay for that. Just kill the deal. But you trying to get this other house processed, you know what I'm saying, so you can buy it and move. But now you hindering that up. Now that seller want to kill the deal because you making them wait even longer to get into their house, you know. So it gets frustrating. Definitely. So it's really better to utilize a fourplex starting off with some kind of multifamily property. So you already in place to leave that alone. You can provide the bank information showing how the rent and everything is getting paid. That way your income is not being held a liability to that property.
Right, man. Listen. Game time, no lame time. I don't know. The man showed you how to take your first mortgage and be able to turn it into an investment property that after a year you stand in it, that you can get out of it and have some other people stand in it paying you rent. That since there's multiple doors on the property, they can be paying your rent where you at, and you still making passive income. Now, it is steps to do that. So what I want to ask you is this, Ricardo. Let's just say with us at the beginning of the year, say we got some people that's watching and saying, I want to give myself a long-term goal. I want to be able to get my credit right. I want to make sure that whatever, because I like you said something. You said, don't just go off the pre-approval. Basically find out what all you going to need so your feelings won't be hurt. Basically, because if you just going off a bad lender, because you don't know who a bad lender, you just looking up stuff. So the bad lender, and you going off, and now your hopes in it and saying you finna buy a house, and now they asking for other stuff. So for a person that's just looking, and they saying, you know what, in 2026, I want to buy me a home. Game time, no lame time. I want to get a fourplex. That man said that I can lay in there and make money and have somebody else pay it off, and I can move out in a year somewhere else and just be making income while somebody else pay it off. What steps for a person that's giving themselves a long-term goal that said, I don't want to even start talking to Ricardo on it until 2026? What was some stuff besides credit that if it's something they need to, is certain lenders they need to do, they need to call around, or what type of paperwork, how can they properly prepare to avoid any type of headaches?
Well, for me personally, I have a team of lenders for anything somebody want to do. You know what I'm saying? No matter if it's commercial, residential, you can buy a skyscraper through me, okay?
Game time, no lame time.
So it depends on, it's really important to call me, first of all, so I can dive a little bit into your situation so I know which way to send you.
Listen,
you know,
it's important. Write that down. It's important to call your realtor and him, especially if you're in Arkansas, you got to be dealing with Ricardo anyway. And I just want you, since that was so important and you put emphasis on that, why is that important? What is your job there, and why is your job so important for somebody to make sure they call you?
one of the most important things for me, for people, is saving them money. So if you call me and be like, okay, you're a first time home buyer, you might have the money and something like that. Like, it's really some realtors out there that don't care. You know, you done told them I got 20,000 in savings and all that other type of stuff like that. Now they might not work as hard to get you a zero down. You know what I'm saying? They just finna run it straight through, and you paying your 3.5% but down, but they could have utilized sending you a lender that you didn't have to do that with. You know what I'm saying? Because FHA in Arkansas, I believe, gives up to a little over $500,000, like 523,000 or something, for a first-time home buyer. Of course, that you have to have the income, you know, but up to that. So you can, if you're making good income in that field, you can buy up to a fourplex up to that amount. And just think about even just not just even buying a traditional fourplex that's in a traditional residential neighborhood. Like, you might get a good deal by a lake or something like that now, or even by a hospital, because we got travel nurses always looking for places to stay. That can also be a short-term rental. You know what I'm saying? So,
time, no lane.
so you at Hot Springs by the lake. You know how much you can get for an Airbnb every day on a hot spring, and how much that's a touristic area that people come through. Like, even your property just popped for the summertime. You done made enough on that property all year.
Come on, man. Y'all gotta be writing this down,
but,
man.
Far as I would say they have to come to me first, though, bro. Like, it's hard for me to even speak on the play on the mic, because it's different things that go into it. So I got a lender. I'm gonna shout him out, Scott Taylor. Scott Taylor with Mortgage Financial Services. He knows about the down payment assistance loans and stuff like that, or what in that nature. Then I might send somebody to First Security Bank. Their credit is still a little bit on the low side, but they got just enough to do what they need to do. So now they can get a zero down conventional loan. I've sold a person new construction with zero down, and they had a 630 credit score, you know. But if you got a 580, now we're talking about 3.5%, you know. But I've also sold people houses with 7 acres in a fishing pond, and all they had to pay for was an inspection on their home because their credit was good, and they moved in a rural area. So that's another thing. If you want to move in a rural area, now you can utilize another zero down USDA rural development loan. So how I ran that is, he got pre-approved for the amount. He told me the amount, told me the area that he wanted to be in.
Okay.
I sent him a list of houses. He decided which one that he want to go look at. We went and looked at this house. We put it on the contract, you know. We got an inspection. Things got fixed that needed to get fixed. Lender approved it. He got a fishing pond, a man cave, a house, a she cave if he want to make one for his wife too, and they good to go. You know what I'm saying?
Man, listen. He said something that was so valuable that make sure you don't miss, because this game time, no lane time. Why the importance of calling? Meaning is, you can miss the chance of a zero down just going to the wrong realtor that ain't even shopping for you in your best interest. That since you don't know, that's why we knowledge over money. Since you don't know, you just gonna think since it's your first time that it's normal. And you gonna put the money down and you gonna take a picture with your realtor and pop the bottles, when the whole time is, you should have been there calling Ricardo.
Yeah.
It's other realtors. I ain't saying it ain't no other realtors out there doing good. It's just that I felt that, man, in my soul when he said that, because I started thinking about people that paid down payments that didn't even know that, you know what I mean, that they could have had a zero down. And also on top of me personally dealing with Ricardo, it is so important, like minerals, air rights. Like, it is so, man, Ricardo, I know this gonna go over somebody's head, and I know, but y'all gotta hear this. Like, it's more than just purchasing a home. That this is why you gotta call the people who know. And I want him, what is it? What are some things that you've seen that go wrong that people that come from where we come from have never even heard of can even be possible, because they was nobody never even told them that during the process of purchasing a home?
Yeah, so when we selling homes, it's already in our contracts, but all real estate deals aren't done through our contracts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go buy a Ross Coleman home, Ross Coleman got their own paperwork. Or you might meet somebody that's been doing it for a while, they got their own paperwork established by an attorney, and y'all just running it through through the courthouse or whatever, and nobody really understands the verbiage in it. So yeah, you do have mineral rights. So you could have bought this house or this land, you love it and everything else, and didn't read the paperwork and didn't know that the mineral rights didn't convey with the property. Now all of a sudden you see Uncle John you bought the house from, or whoever it is, you know what I'm saying, starting to dig on your land. You come out there, it's an argument gonna get created or whatever else, and you know what I'm saying? But he has it in the contract that he owns the mineral rights. So if he go out there and strike oil or want to put a oil, what them things called? The tower thing. Yeah, whatever they call it, but that's his now. You know what I'm saying? That belongs to him just because you didn't know about the mineral rights. Basically, minerals that's in the ground and in the soil that can be found that can produce income on that property. You know what I'm saying?
Say that again. What is minerals? And because I know I didn't hear about this until I dealt with it. So think about this now. You finna go purchase your home, and that means this happened to people. So this is game time. No, like you do not want this happening to you. So you might want to ask your realtor even about this when purchasing your home. What is the minerals now?
Minerals can be oil. It could be we in Arkansas. It could be diamonds. It can be gold. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff is real valuable commodities out here. So anything. I mean, it don't matter if you got a good grade of grass. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to sell it at sod. You know what I'm saying? Or I mean, just stuff in that area,
stuff,
bro.
Man.
Like,
this,
really,
it's about just dropping. Listen, y'all should have a pad full of notes already. If you don't, you got to rewind this because, listen, this ain't what you're used to, but this is what you going to need to succeed. And we always have conversations, man, because it's just so many things to do. And I just want to change gears real quick because we talk about houses and we talk about different things. And I know that you do a lot of different things. You do, you know what I mean, from insurance and different things of that nature. So not only while you're just trying to help people, you making money while helping people. And I'm getting to this to say this is because I'm realizing it's important to make some money now. Right. So, especially when we talk about home purchases and loan contracts and things of that, man. For people who like Ricardo, man, I don't know what to do. Maybe you was just dealt a good hand, or you just this a great real estate agent. What are some other things that you do that other people can do to help others? Because we live in an economy where we at now, we need to be trying to help somebody. Yeah. Because right now, how things going, people gonna need help. So what are some things that you working on or that you got going that can help regular people that's watching the podcast and then also provide them maybe an opportunity to say, let me hit him up and see if I can get into what he doing? Yeah.
So my latest thing that I'm doing is affiliate marketing. So that I think that's very simple. Outside of being a notary is one of the simplest things that I've had to do. Okay. You basically can watch a YouTube video and pass that test.
Right. And what's affiliate marketing for those who don't understand?
Affiliate marketing is basically you getting with companies or corporations, and you're tying into their product. You're advertising their product. You're getting paid off for bringing them business. You know what I'm saying? So like Walmart creates a link for every product they allow me to sell, and I create a storefront. So I can decide, okay, I can go through all these items. We all know how big and how many items Walmart got, so you might want to go through there. And right there on your platform, it lets you know how much commission will be paid off each item. Or it also has, when you log in, it lets you know hot items. Like they trying to help you make some money.
Hold on. But I don't want to cut you off. So listen to this, and correct me if I'm wrong. I want to make so. We all shop at Walmart. Most people where we come from shop at Walmart. So you mean to tell me it's a way for them to go get a link and do the same shopping they was going to do anyway and get paid and can give it to cousin, little JoJo, can give it to the friends and family and say, hey, since y'all going to Walmart anyway, and the link, it ain't you providing the product, it's actually Walmart's product directly from their site. Seem like it's coded to your link to let them know where the commission come from.
Right.
And you can help ordinary people. Like if somebody contacted you right now and say, Ricardo, I don't want to buy groceries from you, but we buy a lot of groceries, and I got friends and family that buy a lot of groceries. Can you set me up with a link at least to buy my own groceries and get paid for it. Because if you going to Walmart buying your groceries, look, I got to get the link. If you going to Walmart anyway to buy your groceries and the man said you can go get the same groceries and the same stuff and get paid, man, we want to know.
I think and wealth comes from really knowing not how to be greedy at the right time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if somebody come to me and they got a shopping list at Walmart and they want to utilize that, Walmart might pay me 30%, but I can tell that person, hey, if you use my link, you can save 10%. So I'm basically just giving them the money back when I get paid, and I'm just taking the 20. But you still saving money at the end of the day when you went shopping. But also having that type of platform, I'm saving myself money. Yeah. So whatever I go buy at Walmart now, I can turn around and use my own link. And instead of people looking for the newspaper and coupons, I'm saving even more money than the coupon can offer just because I'm utilizing my own platform, being my own influencer for Walmart. And it's a little bit deeper than that, bro. Like, even businesses, you know, once, like you say, once you dive into the age corps and stuff like that, or you able to get business funding, business credit, there's companies out there for that that even pay you 35% on each person that you send them that gets approved in that area. So you can utilize that for investors. Any legit business you can utilize it for. Even for your equipment. They have a loan for equipment that you can get paid off of just bringing somebody. Like, you want to start that construction business and buy that bulldozer, they got equipment financing, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, it makes game time no lame time. So basically, he showed you how to run a bag up right now. And let me break it where you can understand it. The man said affiliate, meaning is when you send somebody, you know, people send people to get credit done. Taxes, that's a partnership. They get a commission, so they affiliated with it. So basically, all of the things, what I be trying to do, every company that I deal with and buy a service from, I be trying to figure out, do they got affiliate program? How do people know? Because this is something that a person can create an LLC if they wanted to, and just based on their business, all they do is partnerships and affiliate for every different type of industry. So how do people find, and I know they can contact Ricardo as well, and we have his information in the description, but how do people find those, like if they using a service or using a product, how can they find out if, hey, do they got affiliate program?
Most of the time I utilize Google. Just to
Google,
be real, I'm Googling. So, but I don't just say what companies have affiliate marketing. Like, I'm narrowing it down. I might have a thought about diamonds. I got one of those in place. Like, okay, people get married, people like jewelry, whatever else. Let me see what diamond companies offer affiliate marketing. You know what I'm saying? What well, I mean, anything, bro. Like, you just like it was a company in Houston that sell, rent out luxury cars. You know what I'm saying? So I knew somebody in Houston. Now I was trying to get to do some business with me and whatever else. I said, give me a week. I'm gonna be partnered with somebody in Houston. I'm gonna show you how quick I can get something done. Man, so I looked up a rental car place, knowing there's plenty of rappers and celebrities and stuff in Houston and stuff like that'll catch my advertisement once I get all that going. But now I'm making money off of just being affiliated with the luxury rental car place that a lot of people want to go rent the Rolls Royce, the Bentley, the Escalade, whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that, and I go national, so I don't just look at where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of places, probably more than even where we at right now, that's gonna be way willing to do that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So the first company I partnered with was in New York. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even in Arkansas. So, yeah, that's really it on that, bro.
Listen, game time, no lame time. If you looking for a podcast to make excuses and say they still ain't talking about nothing, or they ain't telling you how to do it, this is the wrong podcast. But if you looking to get some real deal game with no excuses, this is where we at. So listen, man, go ahead. I'm
gonna add one more tip because I said Google.
Okay.
You know. But ChatGPT is a lifesaver. ChatGPT really, I'm gonna be wide open. Help me create my disclosures, my partner agreements. I got it to do the basics, and I tweaked it the way that I wanted to tweak it. You know what I'm saying? But also in finding affiliates, like you can go right on there and search by state, but use state and topic. Don't just say somewhere in Missouri that do affiliate marketing. Like break it down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Podcasts do affiliate marketing. Like it's whatever topic, it's somebody out there that's doing it. But just think in the realm of what people actually want and want to utilize right now. Not just, you don't want to go utilize affiliate market with the sunflower seed company.
Right.
Ain't nobody for the
ain't nobody want to see. Yeah, definitely.
So I'm just saying things that's actually gonna make you some money and you can utilize real quick.
Make some money, man. Listen. Now we're gonna wrap this one up on part 1 of episode 1. But listen, hope that we went over everything and that we scratched the surface and kind of open up your mind, because you definitely got to put your seatbelts on for part 2. So stay tuned. We coming back. Make sure you got your pen and pad. Episode 1, part 2.
Part 2, let's go. Game time, no lane.
Game time, no lane.